Hi, Stephanie. So we have been talking about Hispanic Heritage Month, and this week we're going to talk about the Cuban culture. We're going to talk about the languages that they speak, we're going to talk about the clothes that they wear, and we're going to talk about the foods that they eat. So I thought it would be a great idea to make a food that they enjoy eating, and if you listen closely and watch me during the lesson, you're going to learn how to make it. So you'll be so happy that you'll be able to make it all by yourself. If you listen closely and learn how to make one, you'll be rewarded with a guava and cheese pastelito at the end of the lesson. How are you going to listen during the lesson?
Closely.
Nice. Should you be watching me during the whole demonstration?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Can we remember where we find the eggs?
In the refrigerator.
Yes, in the refrigerator. Nice remembering. Can you tell me where we find the mixing bowls?
In the cabinet.
Yes, in the cabinet. You're right. Can you tell me where the spoons are?
In the drawer.
Yes, they are in the drawer. You're on a roll. Now that we've gone over some of the simple facts, I'm going to teach you how to make a guava and cheese pastelito from all of those materials. Again, please listen to these steps. First, we're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Then we're going to thaw out the puff pastry, add water and sugar to a saucepan. Then we're going to remove the water and sugar mixture from the heat and let it cool completely. Then we're going to unfold a sheet of puff pastry into a lightly floured surface and roll it out, so it's about an inch bigger. Then we're going to cut each puff pastry into 4 squares and place a slice of guava paste and cream cheese into the center. Then we're going to brush the edge with egg wash and seal it into a triangle shape. Then we're going to place the triangles on a lined baking sheet. We're going to brush the tops of the egg wash and make a slit in the center. Then we're going to bake the triangles for 25 minutes. Last, we're going to brush them with simple syrup. I'm going to repeat the steps one more time. So first, we're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Then we're going to thaw the puff pastry. Then we're going to add the water and sugar to a saucepan and cook over medium heat until the sugar dissolves. Then we're going to remove the water and the sugar mixture from the heat, and we're going to let it cool completely. Then we're going to unfold the sheet of puff pastry into a lightly floured surface and roll it out until it's about an inch bigger. Then we're going to cut each puff pastry into 4 squares and place a piece of guava and cream cheese into the center of each square. Then we're going to brush the edges with egg wash and seal it into a triangle shape. Then we're going to place the triangles on the baking sheet and brush them with egg wash and make a slit in the center. Then we're going to bake them for 25 minutes. And last, we're going to brush them with simple syrup. All right, so we're going to try to say this together, okay? All right. Okay. So first, we are going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Then thaw out the pastry. Nice job. Then add water and sugar to the saucepan and cook over medium heat until the sugar dissolves. Then remove the water and sugar mixture from the heat and let it cool completely. Then unfold each sheet of puff pastry onto a lightly floured surface and roll it out until it's about an inch bigger. Then cut each pastry into 4 squares and place a piece of guava paste and cream cheese into the center of each square. Then brush the edges with the egg wash and seal it into a triangle shape. Then place the triangles on the lined baking sheet. Brush the tops with the egg wash and make a slit in the center. Good job. Next, bake the triangles for 25 minutes. And last, we're going to brush them with simple syrup. Nice job. All right. All right, now listen only, okay? So have your listening ears. What's the first thing we do?
We preheat the oven for 350 degrees.
Good job. How do you know that?
Because
You can do this.
because the first step is to preheat the oven.
Good
at
job.
350 degrees.
Nice job. So do I thaw out the puff pastry?
Yes,
How do you know this?
because the second step is to thaw out the puff pastry, and
Good.
yeah.
Yep, good job. All right, so do I add water and sugar to the saucepan and cook it over low heat?
No,
No. How do you know that?
because I must cook it over medium heat and until the sugar is dissolved.
Awesome. All right, so Stephanie, do I cut each puff pastry into 4 squares?
Yes,
How do you know that?
because you have to cut each puff pastry into 4 squares. Place a slice of guava paste and cream cheese in the center of each square.
Nice, amazing. I can tell you have your listening ears on. So you need to cut them into 4 squares. Do you unfold the puff pastry into a non-floured surface?
No.
No. How do you know that?
Because I need to unfold the puff pastry onto a lightly floured surface and let it roll out until it grows in a bunch of inch bigger.
Yes, you're doing great. So when we brush the edges with the egg wash, so do we leave the squares as is?
No.
Correct. How do you know that?
When I brush the edges with egg wash, I seal it into triangle shapes.
Awesome. All right, so do you place the triangles in the oven for 25 minutes and finally brush them with the simple syrup?
Yes,
Yes. How do you know that?
because you need to bake the triangles before brushing the simple syrup on them.
Yes, awesome job. All right, so now we're gonna do our demonstration, okay? So what's the first thing that we do?
We preheat the oven at 350
All right,
degrees.
so let's do that. We're gonna preheat the oven. Awesome job. All right, then we're gonna thaw out the pastry. The pastry's already thawed out. All right, so now we're gonna add our water. And we're gonna add our sugar. We're gonna put it over what? Over
Medium heat.
medium heat. Put it over medium heat. Nice job. All right. So now we're going to stir it until what? The sugar is
Dissolved.
dissolved. All right. So now you can see the sugar is completely dissolved. So now we have to remove it from the heat.
Remove from the heat.
Awesome job. All right, so now we have to unfold the sheet of puff pastry into a lightly floured surface. So does this have flour?
No.
All right, so now we have to add a little bit of flour into our surface. Okay. All right, so now let's roll it. Good job. All right, so what's next?
Now we cut it into 4 squares.
All right, nice job. Do you want to do that? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, careful. Nice job. All right, what's next after we cut it into 4 squares?
We put the guava on the
Center.
center
Mhm.
and the cheese in the center.
Nice job. Okay, good job. Okay. So what's the next step?
We fold. Then we brush the edges with the egg wash and seal it.
Okay, so right now we're gonna use our brush. We're gonna use our egg wash. Okay. We're gonna brush the edges. The whole thing. We're gonna need a little bit more. Okay, you wanna do the rest? And then do the other 3 squares. Good job. Nice. No, you're doing good. A little bit more so it doesn't dry up though. Okay. Right there.
They all need to be.
Yeah, all of the sides. Good job. And a little bit more there. Awesome. I'm gonna do here. Nice job. All right. All right, so once we're done with that step, do you remember the next step?
Yes, then place the triangles. Oh. Then we fold the triangles.
All right, so we have to seal it in a triangle. Nice job. Good job. Press that a little bit. Yep. No, that was good. Keep going. You have 2 more. Good job.
Then we're gonna put them to the baking sheet.
Nice. Yeah, here I can get over here. All right. Nope, you can do it. Okay. There we go. All right.
And now we're gonna brush the tops with the egg wash.
Okay. Which is right there. All right. Now what?
Now we're gonna slice open. I mean, we're gonna cut a
Slit
slit
in the center. All right. And then what?
And then we're gonna put it in the baking, and we're gonna bake it for 25 minutes.
All right. Go ahead. Got it? Nice job. All right. So now it's going to be in the oven for 25 minutes, okay? And then after that, what's the last thing that we do?
We brush it with the simple syrup.
Yes, we brush it with the simple syrup. Nice job. All right. So what's the first thing that we did?
We baked it in the oven. We preheated the oven for 350 minutes.
Nice job. All right. And how do you know this?
Because you had to preheat the oven for 350 degrees.
Nice job. All right. And then what's next?
You thaw out the puff pastry.
Okay. And then what?
You add water and sugar to a saucepan and cook over medium heat until the sugar dissolves.
How do you know this?
Because the next step was to add sugar and water to a saucepan and cook over medium heat.
Nice work. All right, let's keep going. So after you cook the water and the sugar over medium heat, do you add more sugar?
No.
No, you don't add any more sugar. That's right. So the next step is to remove the water and sugar from the heat and let it cool completely, right?
Yes.
So the next step is to what? To roll the puff pastry. Do you roll out or do you roll in?
You roll out.
You roll it out. Nice job. How do you know?
Because you have to unfold each sheet of puff pastry onto a lightly floured surface and roll it out so it's about an inch bigger.
Look at you. You're doing great. All right. So now that we went ahead and did our recipe and the pastelitos are in the oven, can you tell me the steps to make a guava and cheese pastelito?
Yes, I can. So you first preheat the oven at 350 degrees. Then you thaw out the puff pastry. And then add water and sugar to the saucepan and cook over medium heat until the sugar dissolves. Then remove the water and sugar mixture from the heat to let cool completely. Then you unfold each sheet of puff pastry onto a lightly floured surface and roll it out so it's an inch bigger. Then cut each pastry into 4 squares and place a slice of guava and paste and cream cheese in the center of each square.
Sure.
Then brush the edges with the egg wash and seal it in a triangle shape. Then place the triangle on a lined baking sheet. Brush the tops with egg wash and slit in. Then make a slit in the center. Next, bake the triangle for 25 minutes, and then last, brush with the simple syrup.
Good job, Lass. You do brush with the simple syrup. You're a rock star. All right, so you really learned how to make a guava and cheese pastelito. You did such a good job. Remember all the steps in order. All right. So now that you know how to make a guava and cheese pastelito, you can make one for yourself and you can make one for your friends. All right. You're learning so much from different cultures, and you're learning you're learning a lot of new skills. So next time we're going to learn about Spain, and we're going to learn how to make empanadas.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, you can find cold foods in the refrigerator. You can find dry foods in the cabinets, pans in the cabinets. You can find cooking tools in the kitchen drawers. All right, so you can enjoy the pastelitos as soon as they come out of the oven because they're baking. All right, so we're going to go ahead and clean up. All right, so now that we're gonna start cleaning up, can you tell me, do we roll the puff pastry in or out?
Out.
We roll it out, nice job. Because what? How do you know that?
Because the step was to unfold the puff pastries until it was like an inch bigger.
Nice job. All right, that's right. So do I add water and sugar to a saucepan and cook it over medium heat?
Yes, because you have to cook it over medium heat until the water is dissolved.
Awesome job. Okay, so you did a really nice job learning how to make guava and cheese pastelitos, and that is our lesson, and we're all done. You did an awesome job. Yeah.